can you want to tell the people what are we doing here? What are we doing right now? And what's the name of what are we doing? Let's introduce the people for those who don't know about this journey we're starting.
We're starting a journey to rise up all the youth that don't get a lot of recognition for the hard work they put in.
Mm-hmm.
All the young Brevard youth athletes that don't get that recognition that they need to up empower them to get them up to the next level. We're starting that and we're pushing them up. We're recognizing hardworking dogs that put in that work and that want to be next great level. They want to be great. They want to be the next Deion Sanders. They want to be the next Randy Moss. They want to be the next Joe Montana. It's really a great concept. It's for the kids. It's for every kid that's undersized and they work that hard in. They put their heart in. They put that hard work. It's for them, and it's a great program. If you wanna help us out, hit that like on the follow us, hit that like on the live, and comment, give us some engagement, push this out to the further people, help us out. What do you think? Why do you think it's important to empower the youth? Give them recognition.
They don't have an ESPN every day.
Yep, that's the.
They're not being shown on ESPN, the exposure, and so my thing is, and I'll give you the whole rundown on my journey in this podcast adventure. So one day, I'm not sure if Max even remember, but we were watching. I want to say Justin Jefferson. And Justin Jefferson had a post-game interview, and I seen the face on the kid's face expression when, like, oh, wow, that's cool. You know, he shined during the game, and now he's getting interviewed, being broadcast across the world. So one day on Mac's birthday, I had the podcast equipment. You guys remember my old, the cord one or whatever that I had, the first one?
Yeah.
And you remember that interview that I had one-on-one inside the coach's office at Merritt Island Youth Football League?
Yeah.
So I started that. I started interviewing kids after other kids after the football event, basketball event, baseball event, and you know, I love the response that I got from the kids, to seeing the smiles that they had on their face and how excited they were to show their friends that, you know, simple old me, a dad who's passionate about the sport and passionate about the future, you know, of the kids and stuff. And so, you know, just one of those things that I want to do because I enjoy seeing the smile on the kids' face and stuff. And throughout it, I had my sons, Blotty, Billy, Max, help me out through the journey. And right now, you know, I got Blotty, he's on the soundboard.
We got the tech crew.
He's the moderator. We got Billy, what's up? We got my son Maxwell, and you got myself, Beezy Baby. But that was the reason why I wanted to take this journey in this podcast. What's up with you, Max? You talk to him. What got you
into it? I got into it because my dad. So I played football, and then at the end of the year, I just didn't want to play anymore. And then my dad told me that you got to do at least one thing, and I said podcast. Well, he said like a choice, and I said podcast. That's why I'm doing this.
Yeah, that's awesome. And man, at least you're doing something to kind of get what you want to do. That football thing, if you don't want to do that football thing, you could talk about football. Reason I got into it is just I'm a talker. I like to talk. Talk.
Billy's definitely a damn talker.
I'll talk somebody's ears off. So, instead of talking somebody's ear off, I'll talk y'all ear off.
There you go. All right. So on subject, right? We talked about the tush push.
Yeah.
Tush push, you're in or out, you're out, or keep it, and you're saying
keep it always.
Keep it just for Lottie in the background. Lottie, tush push, you keeping it or throwing it away. The tush push. He doesn't know what the tush push is, guys. I'm sorry. Push the quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think they should keep that or stop it? Okay, a lot of votes stop it.
Okay, I see how it is.
All right. So next subject, we're going to talk about Brevard County's high school and youth sports as far as football goes, and our prediction on who's going to win state championships in Brevard County, right? Or also who's going to win the Super Bowl as far as youth. Now, I'm sorry, guys, we don't have a list in front of us of all the teams that are in the Brevard County youth sport. We'll do our best to remember and give you guys notoriety or some energy, whether it's tonight or in the future. But we're not leaving anyone out. But as far as youth sports, starting with youth, right?
Yeah.
As we know, Vero every year.
They're just banging.
Comes with dogs.
There's some dogs
right?
over there.
I mean, it's like, it's crazy. It's like everybody got dreads and gold teeth down there.
They just cooked up on everything. They some.
So, William, you mind if I give the story, William?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, so football season. William's first year playing football, and we signed signed him up, right? And I say, William's somewhat athletic, but for the main reason we wanted to do it for health purposes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It wasn't something you were like dying to do. It was more like you seen your friends doing it, and you knew we were on a healthy path, and so you decided to play football, right? So I noticed that William isn't as active as the other kids, as far as, wanting to be out there on the field and stuff. So long story short, they're playing against Vero. And Mac's game was at 6 o'clock in the morning, and Billy played with the older kids, so your game was like 2, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it was late.
So I would go to Mac. We would all go to Max's game, watch it, and then after Max's game, since we lived down the street, I would just go home for a little bit while you hung out. Your game started, and I would come back to the field and watch your game. So this particular morning, it was the same routine. Max had his game in the morning, and I left Billy at the field. I come back to the game. I'm a little behind. It was probably right after kickoff, maybe a little later. And I'm watching the game from the fence. And, like every father, you look for your son's jersey, right? So I'm looking out on the field. I'm looking for Williams' jersey. And it goes all the way into the second quarter. I'm like, what's going on, Williams the center. He should be on the field by now, like previous games. So I'm looking at this point. I'm like, was he injured? Did I miss something? So now I start walking towards the team. Right?
The team temp.
I kid you not. As I'm walking towards the team, this joker comes out of nowhere, skipping. I said, William, what are you doing? In my mind, I'm thinking maybe I'm watching the wrong team or something. It's a good reason why you're not on the field right now.
Yeah.
And so William looks at me, and his eyes are big as hell, and he goes, I'm scared. I said, what you scared of? And give William some whatever, but those guys were big.
They were like, they're some big kids. I'm talking like one of them was 6'2". I'm telling you not, 6'2",
like seriously,
350.
Definitely 6'2".
Like I'm about to go be a center, and I'm about to get knocked out by 4 big guys. And I'm undersized in that team too. I got like 2 guys on the side of me bigger than me. It's like, what am I supposed to do?
But didn't you have the 2 brothers that were on?
No,
on
those were 10 youth. We were 13 youth.
Older. What's their names?
Big 40 and Big 50.
What's
Amari
their real
and I don't know his brother's name.
That was crazy. That was a funny moment because, like I said, William didn't really want to play. He was just doing it for health reasons. We were kind of pressuring him to do something, to get outside the house. And But to see his facial expression and looking out onto the field and seeing those guys, seeing what he's seen, I probably would have did the same thing.
Funny thing is, we got blown out by 0-60 that game.
Yeah.
I came back the next day too, next practice. Coming back, coach told me to run suicides up and down that field. We had to do bear claws, fence to fence. We were struggling.
Yeah. What about you, Max? You got any good memories from youth football? No? We'll talk. What's your good memory?
So, we were playing. So we were playing like this Chargers team.
Oh yeah, Chargers, Melbourne Chargers.
Yes. We got blown out.
Those kids were some dogs.
It was 0-64.
We've had some rough times with football, man.
I knew when we played against that Melbourne team, I knew that team was going to be a tough team when Josiah is our dog.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Josiah is our dog. Darian is athletic. Michael can catch very well. Max is a smart player. He's not the most athletic. He's right in the middle, but he outthinks everyone or whatever. And but when Josiah couldn't tackle those running backs when they were breaking his tackle, I knew it was over.
And Josiah throws himself at him too.
Yeah.
He don't care about nothing.
Yes. When they was breaking Josiah's tackles, when Junior couldn't penetrate through the backfield and stop the running back at least one time, Junior,
You know it's about to be
big
back
body
in.
Junior, man, them boys dogged us. I got a question for you. We were playing against Palm Bay, and after the first quarter, you said your ribs hurt, right? Do you remember this? And you sat out until halftime, right? And I said something to you to trick you to get back on the field, right? You remember what I said? I told you if you play the second half, you could go to Uncle Pilo's house. And all of a sudden, you wasn't that injured. You still were kind of, but you got back on the field. That was in the past, right? And we're not playing football this year, and instead we're going to explore the podcast. Were you really injured?
He's dying with that one. He's taking that one to the grave.
You were really injured, Max. Seriously. No, it's over with. Seriously.
Yes.
Okay, was it as bad as you made it to be, or did you exaggerate? You didn't exaggerate at all.
He's taking that to
Matt,
the grave. He's taking that to the grave.
Like you were dying. And then I said you can go to Uncle Pilo's after the game, and what happened? Okay, and you balled out. You balled out. What do you mean? You had like 2 tackles, and then what was your job on defense? Contain, right? When you're a cornerback, no one's supposed to what? Get past you on the outside, right? So you did your job, and you were forcing everybody up to Josiah, Darian, Easton, Michael, Junior, or whatever. And you did a good job after complaining about you being injured. So my next question would also be is, who was the most, and we're not going to disrespect anyone, right? Mm-hmm. Who was the most underrated player on our team?
Ethan. So
Underrated? Oh, no, we're not. No, you're not. No, shut up. No, shut up. Who was the most underrated player? Who didn't get the credit that he's supposed to?
I would say, what's his name?
So we got JC, we got Easton, we got Michael, we got what's his name, quarterback, Caleb, We got Junior. We have not JC. What was JC? JC. Robert. Robert had heart.
Robert was struggling, and he got through it though.
Robert had heart.
He had that pride.
Robert got knocked down so many damn times, and he got back up
Every single time.
Like he. So those who don't know, can you describe Robert respectfully?
Robert,
How
tall.
tall is? Robert's
Pretty
not
tall.
tall at all. You know little baby Robert?
Oh.
Robert. All right, so Robert is probably this big. The cutest thing in the world, you can fit him in your back pocket. And a lot of the kids, well, everyone was literally twice the size as Robert, you know.
Yeah.
But Robert, you know, he had a tough time going out there on the field. And these kids, some of the kids will kind of take advantage of their oversized and kind of bully him or whatever. And Robert had his moments where he would sit there and cry, not because he was hurt, but he was so passionate and so just he had so much will to be great and just seize the opportunity whenever he got it. But man, he would fucking get knocked. He would get knocked down and get back up every freaking time.
That man was like
Every time.
Kobe, little Kobe. He had that
every
mentality.
time.
He would struggle through it and get right back up.
Every time. I mean, like that was never a time where, like, you know, I seen some kids who thought they were the ish and get hit and they're out for the whole game, or things don't go their way, they're out for the whole game. And freaking Robert had a lot of heart.
Robert can get hit hard too.
Yeah.
He would get hit super hard, and that man would just get back up.
Oh yeah. Who's the hardest hitter on the team?
Oh.
Who was the hardest hitter on the team? Billy, who was the hardest hitter you played against?
Played against I say Amari. Amari's like, he's big.
Who's the bar?
Amari's big 50, super big. It was the two brothers. There was the little brother and then the big brother.
Uh-huh.
We had a scrimmage with them.
No, we're talking about the brothers. That's who you're referring to?
Yeah.
Okay. Who was so which one? The little of the big brother, or
The big one.
Okay. So how did that game go?
I was playing center, and once I got off my block and I was blocking, Big Amari came through, got right through the hole, and just hit me with all his strength. That man, he had some force. He must have got mad at home, got mad on the field. He hit me with something that you ever get hit so hard that all the air comes out of your lungs?
Oh yeah.
You just
Plenty of
you
time.
just gotta take a second to breathe.
Yeah.
You just gotta take a quick kneel. Just gotta take it in.
Yeah.
He hit me so hard, that man gave me some anger.
Has anyone hit you hard? Pause.
So there was this one time when I first started playing tackle
I
football.
remember that.
Then Caleb.
Shout out to Caleb, man. Hey, Caleb, you knew you were doing. Caleb, I can see it in Caleb's eyes, right? We played football. Go ahead, I'll let you tell the story. Sorry.
So I was playing football. We were doing Oklahoma drills. He laid me.
Yeah. So to give more detail, this was Max's first year playing tackle football. So we played flag for 1 year, sat out a year, and because Michael, your best friend, was going to county football, you wanted to play it, right? So we played tackle football for the first time, and this was Max's. He doesn't even have the right shoulder pads, nor helmet isn't even tightened up or none of that.
It's just what Coach gave you.
What Coach gave you, we came in late. They already had spring practice and all this other stuff. So long story short, Max gets out there and Caleb's the talented. Caleb's been playing, whatever. And then, you know, when kids have bigger brothers that are like almost within range, and they're like Josiah, right? Josiah has two brothers that are almost with age. He has to keep up with them if he wants to play football with them. And so Caleb, you know, he has that grit in him. And man, Caleb came up there, Oklahoma drill. Foul!
You know Caleb was working himself up too.
You know what I said? Ooh, not my baby.
I make it hard.
Not my baby. Max just flew backwards on his back. All the coaches like, ooh. When a coach says, ooh,
you got hit.
You got hit. Because it's hard. And then I'm like, ooh. You know what I mean? Another moment when I had like that, it was Landon's team was number 2, and they were playing against the number 1 team in the conference.
Oh, I think I remember
Oklahoma and Oak Ridge versus Lake Brentley. Landon's back's hurts. Freaking, he took some ibuprofen. Second half, he was almost back good. You know, we'll say 85%. Freaking, they're going back and forth. One of the teammates passed the ball up court. The guy steals the ball, and he's coming, landing underneath the basket, and this kid just jumped. Landon jumped up. The kid jumped up, and the kid just kept going up. Foul! I'm like, oh man. And the sad part, well, the one of the players on Landon, on the opponent's team, Landon played AAU with him, kid Tyler. So, you know, they had like a personal relationship. So Tyler was like pointing at him, clowning, ooh. But that was one of those moments when Max got hit like that.
Wait. I got my get back hit.
Oh, that's all. So that's all.
It was this one day where you weren't there.
I think Coach John told me about it. So go ahead.
So we were doing like a scrimmage. He was the QB, I was rushing. Right after I hit him, this man yelled so loud I could probably hear him from another city. I hit him so hard, he could probably go to next Tuesday.
But that time he hit you, when he hit you. All right, so youth athletes, I'm going to go with Vero. I think Vero, I don't want to get into it because, like I said, this isn't the platform where we shame any team or any other thing, but there may be some issues with Vero, and not to get in depth with that. But if everything's good with them, I definitely see them winning the Super Bowl this year. What about you, Max? Who you got? Melbourne Chargers?
Yeah, I'm saying Brevard County.
And why you say them?
Probably because the 64 owns us. Just imagine the older team.
Yeah. All right, Billy, what about you? Who you got?
I think Melbourne's going to come in and sweep.
Melbourne Chargers?
I think Melbourne are going to go against some easy teams in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're going to meet Vieira in the playoffs. And then they're going to both go against each other. Melbourne's going to pull out some great plays. Them players are going to dog out there. And I think it's going to be a close game.
You're talking about high school. We're at high school or we're at youth?
Youth.
Okay. Yeah. You know who else I like, though? I like Coco.
Coco's good.
I can't leave Coco out. Shout out to Coach Tony, man. I went out there and talked to them 12U boys, I think it was.
Yeah, it was
Lonnie,
12U.
that was you that was with me? Who was that was with me recording when we went to Coco?
It was Vladi.
Okay. So, and those boys won the Super Bowl. Shout out to Coach Tony. Shout out to them dogs. Coach Tony, you right. When I was questioning, I said, everybody can't be no dogs. Coach Tony said, we got all dogs.
Got all
and you
dogs.
guys showed me by winning the Super Bowl. So congratulations to those boys, man. Definitely.
They really pulled that actions speak louder than words.
Definitely.
Because they all down.
So, Shador Sanders.
Ooh. Okay.
We can't help but to get into the subject, right? Shador Sanders is a who is Shador Sanders, Billy?
Quarterback off Colorado.
Correct.
son of Deion Sanders, Prime Time, Coach Prime. Whoever we got, yeah, it was some kind of, it was definitely a shock to see that Shador got drafted so far in so late into the draft.
Dropped from the first round
all the way to the fifth round.
And he didn't even play any more football. You know, as far as the end of the season went, he was projected to go number one, two, top 5.
Yeah.
Right? All of a sudden, there's rumor coming out saying that he had bad interviews with teams. People don't like his personality. He seems to be too cocky, so on and so on, right? I can see certain perspectives if you're not understanding of the culture.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, if you've been around it and you see it, like, for instance, I'm you guys' stepdad, right? You guys are young white boys, right? But you can see certain things that someone outside this house does that's from a different culture as far as being black, and recognize it through me. And that person, just because he's talking with his hands, he doesn't mean any harm.
Yeah.
A lot of black people talk with their hands.
That's just how they express themselves.
Exactly. So me being your stepdad and seeing it, you know, it's like, okay, he's not aggressive. He just talks with his hands. Where some people who's confused and never been around it, and when someone's talking like this and stuff, you're like, whoa, you know, you get a little defensive.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But yeah, I just don't think he did anything to drop down to the 5th round. You know how much he lost? How much money he lost?
I don't know. It was a lot of money though.
$40 million.
$40 million.
$40 million.
That's a lot of money to lose. Over, like, we don't even know. They're not even releasing that information to us.
Would you slap your mama for $40 million?
Yeah. 40 mil?
Why, do you slapping your mama for $40 million? No.
40
Max,
million?
you slapping your mama for $40 million?
I'm slapping my mom for $40 million because I can just pay for, like, the doctor thing.
Sheila, Mom. I'ma slap the dog shit out your mom for $40 million. But I'm gonna give you $20 million.
Split it.
Because you're gonna need it once I slap you. Alright, so yeah. Max, your thoughts on Shador Sanders? Do you think it was some type of conspiracy with the NFL to purposely not draft him because of his personality and what he brings outside the field?
Probably, yes. Probably.
Do you think he deserves it? Do you think he's cocky and arrogant?
Not super cocky, but he is kind of arrogant.
In what way? Like, what do you see that you don't agree with that he could have done better? Is it like the gold chains? Is it like the interviews? And what did he say in the interviews? Like, what did you find arrogant?
He doesn't pay much attention to other people.
How does that make him arrogant?
What should I say?
You're pretty much saying, like, I'm thinking you don't know what arrogant means, do you? Do you know what arrogant means? Okay. So, you're pretty much saying that he's misunderstood, or you're saying that he's cocky as in he doesn't care about what other people's opinion about him and he does what he wants to do?
He does what he wants to do.
What about you, Billy? How do you feel?
Honestly, I think the media wants to put the worst image of somebody out there, especially if they're connected to high people out there.
Like Deion Sanders?
Like Deion Sanders, exactly.
Yeah.
You know they
were afraid of, like, the influence that Shador would have being the top 5 pick and the amount of publicity that he would have got. Just imagine Shador being Travis Hunter, going number 2, and the way Jacksonville promoted Travis Hunter.
Oh yeah.
You know,
It would have been some crazy stuff, but they
See what
definitely
you're saying.
it's definitely some conspiracy theories down there with how the NFL definitely purposely put him down there.
Yeah.
Like they made sure he wasn't drafted top 5, and then that draft goes down because teams have specific picks for specific rounds, so they can't they can't change up their whole plan just because of one player. Because now, what if they needed that player on that team?
Yeah.
So it's definitely different. But I think Travis Hunter is a little bit cocky. He's definitely a cocky person. He's definitely arrogant. He's definitely got some spoilness to him because he comes from a line of richness. Like he didn't have to work as hard as his pop did.
I wouldn't say he didn't have to work as hard. I say he had more reach as far as being able to communicate with Tom Brady and being coached by him or mentored by him.
He had more lenience almost.
Yeah, he just had more resources.
Yeah.
You know, he still worked hard. But yeah, guys, we're gonna cut this podcast short. The mosquitoes are biting us up, and we're a little bit underprepared. And the wife's getting ready to come home. We need to close out. But thanks for tuning in, Sherman View TV. And any last words, guys?
See you in the next podcast. Peace.
Billy?
Fly, Eagles, fly. That's all I got to say.
Go Vikings. We out.